Welcome to the You Heard podcast, your go-to for Miami Hurricanes football. Ben, Joe, Pope, and CB break down recruiting, hot topics, and game day action.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end.
No, let's talk about this right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like,
what are we talking about, son?
Get into the topic. I felt
Keeping it a buck.
Let me close these curtains real quick.
You heard.
I know you see it. Hey, man, listen, before we start up, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what it is. Listen, man, bye week is over. You already know what it is. First and foremost, man, this week was crazy. For those of us here in Florida, man, the whole state felt this shit. Hurricane Milton. Hope everybody that listens to the show is happy, is healthy, has made it through. I know some crazy shit. A lot of us just got power. A lot of us still don't have power. If you're in the southwest side of it, the floods and the water was crazy. If you're on the east side of it, the fucking tornadoes were bananas. And it was terrifying. I never watched so much news. I haven't watched the news since. Just got power back yesterday. Fellas, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, man. I was going through it. Bro. Appreciate y'all checking on me. Shout out to Flo giving me a call. Shout out to Lex. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the group chat. You know what I'm saying? We stayed in communication throughout, man. It was fucking scary, bro. Wednesday night, when that shit hit for real, man, I never heard anything like it. And then driving through my neighborhood, seeing all the trees down, trees on people's houses, I have felt so blessed, but also like weirdly guilty at the same time, man. Like it was this weird feeling where like, yo, like I see these people's houses and garages destroyed and all this shit and trees on everywhere. For us, it was just a bunch of branches. So I'm thankful, man, but I hope everybody that listens to the show and that even hate watches, man, hope y'all are healthy. Hope everybody's good, man. It was scary, bro. When the rain went, real quick, and it was just wind, it was just wind. That shit was that shit was crazy. Like this, because I've been through a couple of hurricanes like Andrew, but my mom's drugged me, right? Like my mom gave me some shit. My mom drugged me till I was like 8 years old. But this was the first one as like a grown ass man, and dog, I was scared, bro. Like I ain't even gonna hold you, man. I was like, yo, some shit could fall on my house right now, and there ain't shit I could do about it. So it was 12 hours of fucking fear, bro. So yeah, man. Poke, how was it for you, man?
It was like you said, man. It's definitely nerve wracking. I mean, especially when it seems like every time one of these things comes through, it's at night, so you got no clue what the hell's going on outside, which makes it even worse. All you hear is the wind whipping. It sounds like a damn train going by, like right outside your windows, right outside your doors. So it's definitely nerve wracking, and you never know when or if you're going to lose power, and then what do you do after that? You never know if it's just all of the unknown, man. You just hope and pray for the best, and thankfully we made it through just fine with no issues. So definitely feel definitely blessed on that end, but at the same time, like you said, you do kind of feel guilty because there's tons of people. I mean, not just here in Polk County, people still without power and people with flooding issues and all kinds of stuff like that. But, definitely where it really got hit, over in the Tampa Bay area, Pinellas, over on right there on the west coast of Florida. So your heart definitely goes out for those people, and, just, hope and pray everybody can get through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. While we're going through it, Joey Blur up in here can't figure out. In North Carolina, can't figure out his time. We over here trying to have a moment. We can't even see Joey. Joey's like, this is a little bit too much for me. This is crazy. But yeah, man, it feels good to be back, man. It feels good. You know what I'm saying? We took Wednesday off. Unplanned because of the storm. When we took the day off, we didn't even think anything was happening. And the shit kicked off like right after. So we're back, man, off the bye week. It's on to Louisville. But we got to talk about, Joey going to handle it. Talk about this mid-season progress report, man. Shout out to Jay Singh. Shout out to Last King. Shout out to Stunner Boy in the building. 43 people checking us out right now, man, and those numbers gonna keep climbing. So, Joey, man, how you doing, brother? There we go. Now we can see you.
Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to my brothers for surviving this hurricane shit, man, and everybody who went through it, man. You know, in Charlotte, I was good. From the last one, you know, we didn't get anything too much. We got a little bit of rain, but a lot of people on the western side of the state, North Carolina, dealing with, you know, what was the last one? Helene.
Yeah,
man. So, you know, y'all boys going through that. You know, it's hurtful to just think about what could possibly happen, but you know, we think positively over here, man. So, you know. I knew y'all was gonna be all right. Poke was twist drinking that bourbon, baby.
That's the only way to make it through, man.
Oh, fam, for real, bro. Shout out to Buffalo Trace, man.
Hell yeah,
fam, I got a bottle.
Yeah.
You got a bottle?
Yeah, I got a bottle. Yeah.
They don't even get it on like that, man. So
not anymore, man. But that was a must stop, yo.
You got power when? When did you get power back?
Last night, fam. Last night at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. 4. So I want like
you didn't see any football.
Yes. No. I had shout out to listen. I don't give her enough shout outs. Shout out to my wife. It was like, yo, we need to get a generator. And I'm saying that's when I was talking with y'all, because it was when Sam's was crazy last week because everybody thinking the dock strikes, right? Like, oh shit, we ain't gonna get no toilet paper, whatever.
Yeah.
So I know how Poke feels about that. So I went out there. Shout out to Sam's, man. Had a generator. That was so crucial, man. I was able to plug up my TV, my Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? So I had TV. I watched everything yesterday, and shout out to the very small fan. I will be buying an AC unit for just any kind of future shit, because it was like I was telling Poke, it was like 83, 85 degrees in my house. You know what I'm saying, for 4 days. So I had this like constant layer of sweat. You know what I'm saying, the whole fucking time. It was driving me insane, bro. It was driving me insane.
Just in a lather the whole time, and you stick, and everything just sticks to you, and
it just feels fucking gross, man.
Gross the whole time.
The whole time. Yeah. Shout out to my neighbor that has a whole house generator. So I was over there, you know what I'm saying? He let me take a shower over there. Son, that was so, like those little moments. Son, seeing running water, damn near cried, yo. Like, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, we know, Sterling. That's why it was funny. That's why it was funny.
Yeah, so yesterday, man, let's talk about the slate of games yesterday, man. Let's start with Alabama. You know what I mean? They almost, South Carolina had every opportunity to win that game, man. If you watch that game, man, they got a turnover late and they gave it right back on a fumble. Yep. And then the quarterback for South Carolina, man, he
threw a ball up crazy.
He missed a wide open guy in the end zone, man, and for the 2-point conversion. What do y'all think? Did you get a chance to watch that, Pope?
Oh yeah. I watched the whole thing. It was, I mean, anytime Bama's on, my wife has to watch because she absolutely hates Alabama and wants them to lose every single game. So she's whoever they're playing, she's their biggest fans every time. So yeah, we definitely watched that whole game, and man, I thought they were going to pull it out, especially when they got that crazy onside kick at the end. It's like, oh, they're going to win this thing.
Right? Hell yeah! It seemed like it was destined. Like, how do you explain Nick Saban leaving and the physicality leaving with him? Because Alabama's not as physical as they were at all. Like, people are running the ball whenever they want to on them dudes, man. Yeah. How does that work? Benny, how? Is it the mentality just left or what?
I mean, I think it's a combination of a bunch of. I think Saban left because he saw it coming. You know what I mean? Like, I think Saban bounced when it was like, man, like people not. I'm saying how he feels about the NIL shit. Like,
is it the money? Like, they getting the money. They not trying to.
Yeah, because you think about it, right? Like they're one of the bigger brands in college football. It's Alabama, man. Like out of the last 15 years, you know what I'm saying, we're talking a bunch of natties in there. So they're a focus for a lot of brands and getting NIL. Wasn't you know what I'm saying? So they're getting the thing. He saw the lack of physicality coming, and I think it just fell on Kalen DeBoer's lap. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't, but you got to think about it though. Like Washington got out physical for the natty. You know what I mean?
They did.
So Michigan just goes, hey, hold this eye for him, fam.
Yeah,
like,
for real. They was running high split back pro set formations. Like,
hey, we're gonna toss it. We're gonna throw it 8 times. We're gonna do this veer split shit. Fam, like it's that, and it's Saban has more weight and can push you to do more shit than a Kalen DeBoer can, right? Well, Saban gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying? You went to Bama for Saban. If you stayed for Kalen DeBoer, it's like, all right, man, this is a substitute teacher. You know what I mean? Like there's that aspect to it, and at some point everybody falls, right? Like at some point you can't stay on top that long. So
all empires fall at some point.
All of them do, man. And none of them last forever, right? So it's just the ending of what it was. Fam, Vandy tossed them boys around. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like Vandy got lucky. They scored 40. You don't get lucky to score 40.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You get lucky if they turn the ball over a lot, but
it was physical. Like they just out physical them boys.
And back-to-back weeks. South Carolina, like they said it in the chat, South Carolina should have won.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
No, did you happen to notice, going back to that game real quick, at the end when Bama got that interception, did you happen to notice homeboy almost taking a knee and giving them a safety?
Yeah, facts. Yes.
Because he caught it around the 4 or 5 yard line, then ran it through the end zone. If it wasn't for his teammate there telling him, like, no, get up and go, it would have given him the safety and would have tied it up right there. So,
yeah,
man, that would have been something crazy if that happened.
Yeah,
goodness.
Yeah, read it.
Read it. Yeah, given the slate of SEC and Big Ten games played yesterday, they will use this week as a point when they try to demand 4 automatic teams from each conference when the 16-team playoffs start. If not, they leave. Yeah, they're always going to have.
We definitely think that's the case. Like, they're just going to strong arm them. Like, fuck, give it to us or we out of here. Like, y'all.
Yeah.
And
we'll start our own league.
Yeah, what can they do? You know what I mean?
Well, real quick, back to the Hurricane, man. Green Tree All-American says, I about cried when I finally got gas today in Tampa. Man, people were fighting for gas. I had to get up. That's another one real quick. I had to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to get gas with no lines. You know what I'm saying? To keep my generator running. And it was.
Did they up the prices and shit? That was gas regular price?
Nah.
It was regular price.
Yeah.
Probably the only places that were doing it were those little independently owned small little convenience stores with like 1 or 2 gas pumps.
Yeah,
I'm sure they I'm sure they did there. That's usually the case.
Yeah, that's
their price gouging.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Texas.
How you feel about it? Hold up, Joe. You didn't give your take. What do you think about it?
Yes, I mean Bama is. We can't say they're still Bama. I don't want to hear that shit at all because it's not. It's not. You can tell the discipline is not the same. The physicality is not the same. So they're not still the same team. It just makes for a wide open SEC. I think really every conference, keeping it a buck, I think this is the most parity we've seen in a while, in a long time. It feels like every conference is wide open. You know, the ACC is still wide open. SEC definitely wide open. Because you can say what you want about the SEC. It's been a 2-team race for the last 5, 6, 7 years, man. You know what I mean? It's been Georgia or Alabama. And then somebody else will sneak in here and there, but it's been Georgia and Alabama. So the Big Ten, the same. It's really been Ohio State or Michigan. That's going to change. You know what I mean? Penn State always hovers around until the end, and then they lose 2 or 3 games that just don't make sense till the end.
Should have lost yesterday.
Yeah, definitely should have lost. USC is fucking idiot. Oh gosh, let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about this shit. Like, does USC? Oh my gosh, man!
Talk
You
about
have
it.
to talk about the coach,
Lincoln Riley.
Riley.
Lincoln Riley. Like, what is he? Is he an overrated coach? I mean, he's seen as like
A
a
guru.
top 10 coach. Is he? You have to start looking at something different, man, because they should have won that game crazy. We're not in the shoulda, woulda, couldas or whatever, but they had that game in hand, man. Like, goodness gracious, B. I don't understand. Yeah, yeah, man. And then
Riley
on the
4-8 in
defensive
his last
side of the
12.
ball, man, like I understand, like he's an offensive coach, so it's like it
He's
kind of
always got
keeps me.
soft teams.
Huh?
They always seem like they're soft. Like every team he's coached,
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely,
just
absolutely soft.
yeah, just soft.
Like you
Like
just
there's
poke
nothing.
him. Like you don't even gotta like push him. You just go.
Right.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
my way.
just
You. Yeah, move.
blow him over. Move.
But
Exactly.
they got a decent defensive coordinator now, man, and it's still the same shit, man. Like I was watching that, like, come on, man. Like, oh my goodness.
Can
But
I ask you? They did
yeah,
go out of their way to bring this defensive coach, right?
yeah.
But when this might be a fucked up way, an oversimplification of it, but like DCs and OCs are assistant general managers, right? Or general managers. And then you have the CEO. If the CEO doesn't have a tough mentality, right? Like, and that's who they look at, right? Because these DCs and OCs come and go, you know what I'm saying? Yada, yada, yada. But if the head man is like, I'm kind of just focusing on offense and don't even really look at the defense, there's going to be a lack of accountability there, right? Because they're just going to look at like the DC's talking, you know what I'm saying, talking to you tough and trying to get you to be physical. But the OC, the head man is just like, man, y'all do whatever y'all want to do, whatever he says. There's not going to be that like that want to, right? I'm saying like if Mario was like, yeah, man, whatever, do whatever the fuck y'all want. I'm worried about this O line. I don't care about nobody else. The rest of the team's gonna feel some kind. You know what I'm saying? Like there's gonna be that level of like, yeah, well, fuck this guy. Then. Like the head man don't care. Why should I?
It definitely starts from the head down. Like I'm a firm believer that the team takes on the persona of the head coach, in my opinion. You know what I mean? As we just talked about Alabama, you know what I mean? Miami is an extension of Coach Cristobal. When we watch the press conferences, right? We always say like, "Yo, he sound like Coach Cristobal. He sound like Coach Cristobal, man. The way he's answering the questions and the way he's talking." So yeah, you know, you made a good point. I think that if Lincoln Riley. So are you saying Lincoln Riley's soft? Are you saying he's soft? Okay.
Yeah, 100. Yeah. Both Bens are saying it. This is all Ben agreement. Yeah, yeah, fam. Like that's what. Yes, that's what it. Like yo, like this guy had.
That's what it has to be.
Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, monster quarterbacks, right, in college. And most of the time that should get you
Kyler
through.
Murray.
Yeah, go down the line of all the quarterbacks he's had, which is already an anomaly, and never won. But they, you know what I'm saying, never won. Like just never had the defense. Like, how much proof do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like
so it doesn't matter what coordinators you bring in. If your mentality is what it is as the head guy, everybody's gonna fall into that.
Not everybody's meant to be the head guy. Some guys are just meant to be general managers, regardless of experience.
O coordinator.
Yeah, I think he'd be a beast O coordinator in the league.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's that, and it's been proven. Shout out to Colin Cowherd, by the way. You know what I'm saying, riding his nuts at halftime because the game ends after 2 quarters, acting like that's all you need. The fuck out of here, stupid ass.
Poke, what you think about that, Poke?
About the whole USC thing?
Yeah, USC and the head man, you know, being soft and that's.
No, I 100% agree with you that the culture of the team is going to run based off how the boss conducts himself and his attitude towards not just, you know, the team, but how you carry yourself through practice, how you carry yourself to the media, how you carry yourself in your day-to-day life. I think that it runs through the whole program, and it runs through the head guy. I mean, we're seeing that. We're finally starting to see that take effect with Miami and with Cristobal. When he first got here, it was the culture was going to change, and it took us up until this point to get there. I mean, we didn't see it really the first year. We started seeing hints of it in his second year, and now you're really starting to see that culture come through, how he wants this team and program to run with the way he conducts himself. And you see that with the types of recruits we're getting, and even the portal guys we're getting, the way they conduct themselves, on the field and off the field, spending time doing the extra things to make themselves better, encouraging their teammates to make better, making each other better, through the type of work they put in. And that all comes based off the head guy. And I just think, like you said, at USC, I think it's a little bit lackadaisical that he's kind of like, got that kind of, I don't know how to put like that California laid back type of vibe. Like, I'm just gonna sit back, I'm just kind of going
celebrity out there, huh?
Like y'all do what makes you happy, man. Don't worry about what I'm gonna do. Do your thing, man.
If you're not comfortable, go ahead and get some water. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Play another game. Play another snap on PS5. Don't worry about it. You don't have to watch film today.
Come sit over here on the side. I got some apple juice and crackers for you.
Martinelli's apple juice.
So with that being said, hold up. I want to ask y'all something, man. It's been, I guess, proven Daryl Jackson at Florida State apparently went to Turks and Caicos over the weekend, right? On his bio.
He posted a picture. He posted
a picture.
Allegedly. He posted a picture.
How do y'all feel about, like, does any other player not, if you have the week to yourself because you're on the bye week, the coach says, yo, get away from football, go chill with your fam, blah, 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 blah. Why is it wrong or looked at in a certain way that he went to Turks and Caicos? What's the issue?
Okay, so I
and what is it?
No, I think to a certain extent, you should be able to take a day or so, take a day or two. But I mean, if you're serious about your program and your team and wanting to make it to that next level, you're going to want to put in extra work. Like this just goes to show you the culture change. You got one team where guys are going off taking beach trips and vacations, and you have another team that's having player-led meetings about what do we need to do to get better, what do we need to do to fix the things that we need to fix. So that should tell you everything right there.
Yeah. What you think, man?
There's nothing wrong with taking a day, right? 24, 48 hours of Turks and Caicos, I'm assuming isn't a quick flight, right? Like, I'm assuming I ain't never been.
It's not far. I mean, he's in Florida, so it's not. Yeah. It's not 6 hours. You know what I mean? It's in the Caribbean, so
Yeah, but that's a long flight. When you're 1 in 5, take a trip. You could take a trip to, take a quick flight team. You're getting a bunch of money from FSU. They gave you a customized Porsche or whatever. That they did for you. So congrats on that. So you take a quick flight. Rehab with any kind of injuries you have from a 1 in 5 season as you're beginning to look at 1 in 11. And you take a couple of days in rehab, but to go to Turks and Caicos, matter of fact, go to Turks and Caicos. Don't post a picture.
Don't post about it.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my point right there. There you go.
Right.
What you doing?
I guarantee you, plenty of our guys took time off. I guarantee
That's my point. Yeah.
I guarantee you, Restrepo went and played golf with somebody somewhere.
He was, because he did an interview.
But it wasn't close. I'm sure it wasn't close. He might have gone.
Yeah.
He was somewhere. He probably went to like a fancy ass private golf course. You know what I'm saying? Did his thing. Could have stayed in Miami. There's less golf courses there. But don't post.
But they got the tablets with them in the golf cart watching film at the same time though. How much?
In between swings.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like I feel you. That's my point, Benny. Like, especially at 1 in 5, I'm not celebrating anything, son. Like, there's nothing I can do that I'm posting. I don't even want to show my face, keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm one of the highest paid D tackles probably in the country, and I'm having the season I'm having. I'm not posting that.
No.
You know, I
You're
might
invisible.
go. I might go for the weekend. Yeah, I probably do a Thursday to Saturday, to Friday to Sunday, just to get away real quick. But I'm not posting it at all. Nobody will ever know.
No, nothing. Because let's keep it a buck. If you're there, nobody's gonna recognize you. Nobody's yo, that's Daryl Jackson from FSU. I mean, it's hard. People barely recognize NFL players. Like, you know what's funny is like it takes me back to the New York Giants back in the day when they went down from New York to Miami. They went to Miami and got on a boat, right? Like all the receivers, right? And then they got washed.
Odell and them.
Yeah, Odell and them. Yeah. And I was like, and they just posted a picture. Like that's what I'm saying, that's bulletin board material. It was like, yo, like this is what you're doing, fam. Like you could have gone to Miami, had a blast, didn't have to post a picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could just ball out. So yeah, man, it's just perception, man. You wanted 5, and you're like, yo, let me go to Turks and Caicos and fuck it, bounce on y'all. So I mean, I get it though. It is Tallahassee though, right? I'm getting the fuck out of Tallahassee.
Who the fuck wants to go there? Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of there.
The thing that sucks is you have to like drive to a major airport because Tallahassee, I'm assuming, just has like cargo planes and shit. You gotta like drive to either Jacksonville or Atlanta to fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? Fly down to Miami? Take it? It's not a good look.
It's just ridiculous. All right, real quick. Oregon, Ohio State, real quick before we get to Miami, man. Oregon, Ohio State. The game of the night. The game of the night. Will Howard, man. Damn.
Oof.
He pulled a Nico. Nico do that last week. Nico
tried to do it again this week too.
Yeah. Right. Hell yeah. Damn. So
Ryan Day.
People were saying that the Oregon-Ohio State game will tell us a lot about Oregon in the Big Ten. Did you learn something about Oregon from watching that game, Ben?
Yeah, Oregon's the way better team, man. That game should have been that close, right? Like it had a bunch of miscues, they had a missed field goal, a missed extra point. So yeah, Oregon kind of handled them, but they're the class to me of the Big Ten. You know what I mean? Like I don't see Penn State's gonna fall apart. Oregon's gonna do their thing, man. Like, man, like Ryan, I'm gonna take a quick. Ryan Day fumbled that, bro. Like it wasn't Will Howard. Like to not know that after a penalty the clock starts on when, you know what I'm saying, when the ref goes, like, and to have a timeout and not recognize that and you've been a head coach for what, almost 10 years now. You've been in football most of your adult life. To not know that rule, that's on Will Howard, which is his 6th year of football. Should have known that too, but that's also on the head coach. Like, yeah. Oregon did their thing, man. That dude that spit on him was wild though, but Oregon's gonna show up.
He did a Bill. He pulled a Bill Romanowski out here.
Man, no rest there, but Oregon or Kirby. You know what I'm saying, like Dan Lanning might be taking a page out of Kirby Smart's book. You know what I'm saying? Just start having.
I don't know how you keep your cool after that type of shit. Like
how do you just go like
if you spit on me, like
I'm gonna fuck you up.
So.
Understand
like,
that. Understand the next thing that's happening.
Suspension now. Like we don't even need to talk about it. I'm not.
Oh my god, that is the worst, yo! Like I'm throwing hands.
I'm not trying to appeal with you.
Grabbing your face mask. Oh no. I just looks to the ref like.
I think the only thing that helped was that the DB had a face shield. I think that might have been the only thing that helped.
It didn't get to him, but
that would make me worse. That would make it worse.
And it's just here, and it's coming down your fucking lip.
Man, imagine poke. Let's take it back. Let's imagine you have a face shield, and you see the spit on your face shield. It doesn't matter that it didn't touch you. You know this motherfucker spit at you. You see the shit just dripping down while 100,000 people are cheering. I'm throwing hands, fam. Immediately. I am Andre.
How you feel about Oregon?
I won't comment anymore about being spit on.
I'm sure, yeah. How you feel about Oregon?
Yeah, true.
They're a good team, man. They're dynamic. I'll give them that, man. They're gonna go far, and I think it helps them even further having Dylan Gabriel as their quarterback, a veteran guy. He's done it at the level he's done it at 3 different schools. UCF, he went to Oklahoma, did it at Oklahoma. Now he's at Oregon for his last run, and he's doing it again there. So I think it really carries their offense to have him there. They've got some elite playmakers on the outside too. And what really surprised me was their trench play in this game too. They've kind of handled themselves against Ohio State and really showed that they're just not a drop in the pan. So
yeah,
it is interesting that both times Oregon has beat Ohio State, they didn't have their best players, right? Because when Mario did it in the horseshoe, they didn't have their like top five defensive end and their starting quarterback. And in this one, they were also missing their best pass rusher and still handled it. So shout out to them. Yeah. Look, man, they did their thing.
Yeah,
I don't have any ill will towards Oregon because so it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the thought was that Oregon's lines of scrimmage couldn't hang, and that's the thought from all the West Coast teams, right? That the trenches can't hang with the Big Ten. I think Oregon proved that their trenches can. You know what I mean? Their trenches did their thing. They protected Dylan Gabriel pretty well. It doesn't hurt that he's a mobile quarterback, that he can move a little bit. But they protected him pretty well. They ran the ball pretty well. And defensively in the trenches, they were okay. So I think that was what they had to prove, and they did that for me. So, I picked Oregon, I think, to win the Big Ten. And I think I feel better about that pick because of that. That was my only question, was their trenches. Yeah. And they kind of proved that. So, but I think Ohio State, I know I don't want to say this shit. I hate to say it, but I think they're good. They're a good team.
Yeah. They're good.
They're going to be in the playoff, and they're going to make a little bit of noise. Will Howard is definitely – he's gotten better, but he's definitely not like – he's not an accurate passer like if we were gonna either have Will Howard or Cam Ward, right? So those were the two. I'm glad we got who we got.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Not even looking at how just Cam Ward's just a much better passer. Will Howard's he's bigger, more physical and all that, but
I don't see the real difference from their quarterback. Was it McCord that they had Howard last year? I don't see like
the threat of the run. Like Will Howard will run your ass over. He can run.
Yeah.
He can get out of there.
Yeah, I get that. But like
McCord's a better passer, definitely.
Yeah. I guess they just wanted that side of it, which is fine. I mean, he ran out the clock, so great running. Shout out to Will Howard. Shout out to Will Howard. Hey, hold up, man. Before we get into Miami, man, let's drop this Caneswear ad, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, salute to Caneswear, man. Be down there in a couple weeks for the FSU shindig. You know what I mean?
All black. I'm calling if that's a night game, all black.
Yeah, I hope they say that, man. Hopefully they announce I'm waiting for them to announce the Duke time as well, man, so I could kind of plan my travel around that. That
should be soon.
Hopefully we hear this week about Florida State, the time for Florida State. I think we should hear this week.
Fucking with Florida State, it's going to be at 10:30 in the morning, man.
Yeah,
no, Miami's the draw, man. People want to see Miami, so they're gonna put us in a spot.
Dang,
want to see him win. Want to see him win or want to see him lose. Texas can be beat. Yeah,
yeah. Texas, that was a good game too, man.
That was good.
Yeah. Yo, real quick before we get into Miami, shout out to Kirby Smart pushing Michael Van Buren for no reason at all. Like I mean, just That I guess that's just what we do.
Man, he was trying to get to the ref.
No. Yeah. Of course.
He was trying to get to his defensive coordinator and give him an earful. That's what he said himself.
Yeah. That's what he was.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
that's what he said. I don't know.
I know bullshit when I see it, man. I know bullshit when I fully extending the arms. Yeah, he didn't see him. Yeah, no. He could have just
the bye week is over, baby.
Finally.
The bye week is over.
Fucking bye week. What a bye week.
We have another bye, but we're not gonna talk about it, right?
Longest bye week ever.
Bro.
It's over. We got Louisville coming up, man. Louisville just had a little battle with Virginia. They should have lost that game as well.
Yeah, they had to come from behind.
Yeah, they had to come from behind. So the bye week, man, do you feel like it was much needed, or do you feel like, that loses the momentum a little bit? That kind of decreases the momentum. Some people feel like when you have a bye week and you're rolling, you kind of want to keep going. How do y'all feel about that? Polk, how you feel about that?
I don't think we lose momentum just because of the two back-to-back games we had leading up to the bye week. I think it leaves the team wanting more because they know what they need to do to improve upon and corrections and adjustments that need to be made. I think if we go into the bye week 6-0 and don't have those two games, I think there's more likely a case of guys getting too relaxed and kind of, you know what I mean? Where, not maybe it's like, oh, we got this in the bag. They're looking at what other teams are doing, looking at how Louisville struggled against Virginia and saying, oh, we don't have to put in as much work.
Yeah.
So I think it's helpful in the fact that it was needed as far as guys getting rest and getting healed up. But as far as losing momentum, I think it actually increases it because it leaves the guys hungry and wanting to get back out on that field and, continue to prove what Miami is about.
Yeah. Yeah. What you think, man?
Yeah, I think everything Polk said is accurate and valid, man. I don't worry about it because of what X said. I'm gonna reiterate what Polk said and what X said. They had a players only after 2 comeback wins, man. You know what I mean? They're thinking about what they're not doing right. They're not getting carried away. And you saw it in the Cal game, right? When they're down 25, they're not celebrating a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like that, so they're not looking at this shit like, oh, let's just rest now. And look, there's guys we need to get back. Hopefully Jalen Rivers is back to 100% and back to make the O-line a little stronger. Elijah Austin to keep that D-line trench happening. Yeah, man. And the players only meeting was crucial, man. Like he's like, yo, like we got to talk about some shit. So like they're not resting. They're not in Turks and Caicos. They're on a golf course for a day, but right back to work. So I'm saying this coaching staff was all over the country trying to recruit and working. So yeah, I'm not. But again, Miami historically, right, has struggled after a bye week. So hopefully that players only meeting kept everything. Kept everything on track. I do want to handle this question real quick, Joe. I don't know if you see it from Anthony Mazzano. He's addressing to you, Poke. He says, Poke, do you think the fans are overreacting, saying that Mario needs to move on from Coach Mirabal because it seems like the offensive line is still making the same mistakes from last year? You want to handle that, Poke?
We're Canes fans. We overreact to everything. So, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen that anywhere. I don't know, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen any of that type of talk telling him he needs to move on. I think the reason we have the offensive line we do is because of Coach Mirabal. And if you've been a fan of this team for any amount of time, you can see the changes that have been made on the O-line and in the trenches just by having the two of them on staff as coaches here. But we have had injuries. We had injuries, last year we missed Rivers for a good chunk of games up to this point. And we've had to rely on guys that maybe need a little bit more work and not are quite as polished, but I think they've held their own and I think they've done well just because I think the biggest issue comes from the run game and bringing in Martinez. I've seen plenty of people talking about, how the run game is not doing what it's supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. But who up to whose standard? Are we going by what we want to see as fans, or are we going by what the coaches see in practice and what they're seeing their guys do? I mean, yeah, there's going to be there's going to be mistakes. It's football. It's a game. Mistakes are going to happen. It's being able to correct those mistakes and not make them as often. And I just don't think we're seeing that. So, yes, it's an overreaction.
I'll also say this, Anthony, you have to be mindful of the group chats you're in, because it can, like, wild takes can happen all the time, but don't pounce on that. Like to say that Mirabal needs to go when we're having the two best O-line seasons that we've had. You got to think about it, like, Markel Bell is not supposed to be playing, yo. Like, he was a JUCO transfer, and he's getting on-the-job training when a possible top 3 round lineman has been out. So he's made do, and he's been solid. Like, there's improvement, but there, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, yeah, I don't, that Mirabal take, whoever says that, question their reality with that one.
What mistakes are being made? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I still don't know. I don't. What mistakes are
who made the comment?
Anthony Manzano. Yeah, he says the offensive line is making the same mistakes from last year.
I don't know
7
what
sacks last year. Like, what?
Yeah, and keep it up. We love Cam, right? We love Cam.
Yeah.
The majority of the sacks are Cam's fault. Let's keep it a buck.
Yes.
Like, he's holding on to the ball too long. Of course, you had Markel getting beat a couple times because he's Virginia Tech's D-line whipped our O-line's ass. I'm gonna keep it frank. You know what I mean? It wasn't a good look for the O-line in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Every other game has been very solid, man. The Cal sacks, that was Cam holding on to the ball too long.
No, and he was the first person to say that those were on him. So
yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jalen Ross is the worst loss.
No doubt. No doubt.
100%. We took him for granted because we didn't.
Bell is not doing that bad.
He's really not.
You know what I mean? He's not doing that bad.
He's just not a 5th-year starter. You know what I'm saying? A 5th-year playing in Jalen Rivers, and you can see the difference, which is why he stands out. Right? Like, we look at these snapshot moments where, like, oh shit, no, fam. Like, he's still learning. Like, y'all remember Jalen Rivers wasn't this year 1. We got to look at Markel Bell year 1 because he's a JUCO guy. That's all it is. Brian Solano,
and he's 6'11". That's why he's standing out. So.
He looks 7'3". Like, he's tall. He's so fucking tall. Yo, Mirabal won't be anywhere Mario isn't. He isn't, and will never go anywhere. Fan. Also, do yourselves a favor. If you want to learn more about Coach Mirabal, go to YouTube after this. Now, while you're watching us, 110 in the building. Go to YouTube and put Alex Mirabal and watch his TED Talk, where he just talks about, like, his passion for teaching and, like, how passionate he is about that. Get to know more about him, because it's easy to make these judgments on people without, like, getting a little bit more info, because that shit was dope. We watched it a couple months ago, so definitely highly recommend it. I'll put it in the description below after the show.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. First of all, he's not. That's his man. That's Coach Cristobal's homie. He's not going anywhere. That's his right. His right hand man.
Whoever said that, kick him out the group chat, yo. If we keep it in the book. Sometimes they gotta go. Not everybody gotta stay in.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely well needed after having 6 straight games. You know what I mean? You've had 6 straight games without a bye, and I've expressed my,
concern.
Not concern, but disagreement with those 4 preseason games. I don't like that many preseason games, man, because even though you're dominating, you're still going to get wear and tear in your body, and you're still going to get people hurt. Yeah. Imagine if we had Damari and Bain and Jalen Rivers for those last 2 games. Bain came back, but imagine they were all healthy. It looks different, especially in the secondary. Especially in the secondary. Because you have people in the secondary playing out of position.
And so it looks so noticeable.
It looks very different. Yeah, definitely, man. So I think it's well needed. And as somebody who played football, everybody plays sports here. Benny didn't quit, but he played. Polk.
I walked out.
I
played every sport. If we keep it in the buck, I quit every sport and quit. That's why I eventually raised my right hand.
He was the first. He was the first dude. You talk about these NIL guys quitting and like, fuck this, I'm not playing.
I hit the transfer.
He was the first one. He was the
I'll hit the
before NIL. He was the first one walking out.
He was doing it, but he was doing it before it was cool.
Right.
Everybody had NIL. I was OUT. I'm
right.
I'll see y'all boys. I'll see y'all boys. I'll see y'all boys tomorrow.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to get away for a moment. You know what I mean? But like sometimes you just need time away. But when you love the sport, you miss that shit. Like, so this week is probably killing it. They probably ready to get back to work and get busy. So it's well needed, man. It's well needed. So I'm glad they had the time off. It's time to refocus, fix some shit, and get back popping. So with that being said, somebody from our Twitter account, you know what I mean? I don't know who posted it. You know what I mean? Somebody said Coach Guidry was cooking, and he posted some stats.
Yeah.
And
reposted from Canes football. Reposted from Canes football.
Reposted from Canes. All right. So salute to Canes football. We got some pushback on that. It's a lot of people. He's looking. What do you mean? He sucks. The defense is trash and blah 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 blah.
Explosive plays, and this is the metric I use to prove my point. Yeah. Like all the other stats are there, but no, this is the one that you need to look at because this it's very.
So obviously everyone's referring to the last 2 games, right? First 4 games were incredible defensively. Last 2 games, we can both agree on that. Right. Definitely. We've definitely been exposed in the secondary. In the back end, 100%. Definitely. Virginia Tech, I feel we were a little bit out physicaled for the first time all year in the front. I think we were out physical all around. But Cal definitely had more explosive plays than they've ever had, man.
Yeah, they had 9 points yesterday. They had 9 fucking points.
Yeah. Salute to Flo, because we talked about it a little bit. And, you know, he feels like we should play more zone, right? And I feel like it's a moot point because I think I think the main reasons is because our eyes, man. The linebacker, the safeties, oh my gosh. The eye discipline, if you're playing zone, you have to be disciplined. You have to stay in your zone. You have to. There's nothing you can do. And then when we move to zone, I feel like that's when the big plays happen. You know, there's a play at Cal where they fake the quick screen.
The screen.
They leak the tight end out.
Yep.
The corner is supposed to be in a deep third, and he falls for the fake, and the tight end hits him over the top. Like, I feel
that was even worse play than that, because if you go back that same play when tight end leaks, Tyler Barron drops, right? Because drops into coverage. And then the safety also goes to, like, 3 players go to the same
so somebody has the flat, somebody has the hook curl, and somebody has to be deep. Everybody. And you can't have that in zone coverage. You can't have that. So
the question is,
believe it's because some people are missing, some people are playing out of position, and then some people are just trying to do too much. I don't, I'm a firm believer in the adults in the room, right? Yeah. Coach Guidry, I'm quick to get on a coach. I'm quick, brother. You know what I mean? But I don't know that it's Coach Guidry on this one. You know, what do you got? What do you think, Polk, about that, man?
No, I think it has more to do with your last point about guys trying to do too much. Yeah, I think that goes more to guys wanting to kind of make a name for themselves and make themselves stick out. Like, hey, I'm that dude. I can do this. Instead of just playing to how you're coached, playing your zone, covering your area, doing your job. Yeah. Like everybody tells each other, do your job.
Yep. Yep.
If the other guy gets caught up and you get caught up in, like you said, with their eyes in the backfield, because one guy gets out of position, it's like, oh, now I have to try to make up for him being out of position. Well, now you're both out of position, and we see what happens. So a lot of it just comes down to being disciplined, like, you were saying, with the eyes in the backfield, covering your zone, covering your area. But I just think a lot of times this guy's trying to do too much, trying to make the big play too often. Yeah. But I mean, if you look at the whole picture, it's like, yeah, there were some explosive plays, but what about all those plays that they did what they were supposed to do, and we saw what happened? I mean, everybody always wants to point to the negative and say, oh, because of this play, now Coach Guidry's trash, he needs to be gone, and all this other stuff. But you also have to look at how we bounce back on defense in the second half of those games.
Look at the second halves. Ben, you got them. I know you the numbers guy, but the second half versus Cal. Let's just
10
say.
points. 10 points.
10 points?
Yeah, because if you're not counting the pick six, it was only they gave up 10 points. The pick six, they gave up 17 in the second half because it was 21-10. Yeah, it was 10 points in the second half and like less than 3 yards per play.
And shut down in the second half. Right.
Yep.
Shut down. Sacks when it counted.
Pressures.
Second half versus VT. Second half versus VT. Yeah, man. Listen.
So even USF, even the second half with USF, completely shut them down. You got to go back to what Guidry said in that press conference. It's like they watch the film on these teams and they practice to what their tendencies are. But then when you get in the game, now the teams are doing something completely different. It's like, oh crap! Now we gotta adjust. We gotta adjust. But what did he say? He said, as long as you keep on them and you keep doing what you're supposed to do, those types of teams, when they change everything up, eventually go back to what they're used to doing. And you saw that happen. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think we judge it. And look, we don't like, let's not keep it above. We don't like the explosive plays, right? We don't like seeing a slow ass tight end on a busted coverage because it's not, the mistakes aren't one player, right? When those explosive plays happen, it's multiple players at multiple levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if, like, how, because the coaching is going to be like, hey, all y'all need to make the mistake here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, at some point, it's one, like, the linebackers biting up because they don't trust it. You know what I'm saying? Biting up. And then once he does that, other players get out of position. But, yeah, man, like, yes, the explosive plays absolutely suck, but those explosive plays don't continue to happen in the second half, right? All those busted, like all those explosive plays that VT had didn't happen in the second half. All those explosive plays that Cal had didn't happen in the second half. Yes, they come out and they need to do the double halfback pass. You know what I'm saying? Via right fucking annexation of Puerto Rico to get points on the board. They're not gonna call the annexation of fucking Dominican Republic in the second half. They're gonna be like, well, let's just give it to Jay Knott. We kind of have a big lead. Let's figure it out. You have to play a perfect fucking game on every snap. Miami just has to play, because you know what I'm saying. Like they play their role and their position and what they're asked. The games are different. They have to stop. I don't know. They explode. Like they have to do. They just have to do their fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Like they're put in these positions.
It's exactly what it boils down to.
That's it. Last year we lost 8 off 8 defensive linemen. And people just did their job. The defense, you know what I'm saying? Like the defense was there. You know what I'm saying? Except for the North Carolina, the Louisville game. And this year's defense is better on the D line, right? But you do see the whole of Damari Brown not being there. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy who's gonna be in that nickel position, and everybody else is kind of like figuring it out, except for OJ. You know what I mean? People are asked to do things they weren't, you know what I'm saying, coached up for 3 years to do. So yeah, man, it's also, man,
and I also think
other teams are coached too. Like other teams are coached too. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit, like anybody can be beat. Is it, you know what I'm saying? It's win by any means, yo. Like we could be 5-1 right now, 4-2, but we're 6-0. We want to focus on the negative, listen to our last part. We gave y'all the positive. This one, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is.
I think also being 6-0 comes with its own set of issues as well, man. Like the expectations now, the the lens that people are looking at you through. You know what I mean? Like I think you feel when you're an undefeated team that you have to be perfect. You know, so the safeties, the linebackers feel like they need to make a play every single time.
The pressure,
you know, and the pressure of making a play and remaining undefeated. So you start to press a little bit. You start to press a little bit because as you like the safeties last year who are now in the NFL, they did the same thing. The end of the Georgia Tech game, Cam wasn't supposed to come up and get beat over the top, but he wanted to make you know what I mean? Yeah, North Carolina, like, and that's the dangers of, you know, those expectations. So they just have to rein it back in. I think coaching staff has to rein it back in, man, and get everybody on the same page and get their damn eyes where they supposed to be, man. But yeah, I think we'll be all right on the defensive end. All right. So real quick, Cam Ward, right? I told you guys I'll explain this shit. So
you literally said Cam Ward, I'll explain. Yeah.
The thought is we're hearing a narrative. You have to accept Cam Ward as he is. He's a gunslinger. So the stuff that he does should be taken with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? So rolling to the right, throwing across the middle, a pick, you know what I mean? That's just the shit he does. You know, he's a gunslinger, you know. Is that Benny? Is that accept? Like, is it
that voice?
Is that what it is? Is that what has to be accepted, man? The good comes with the bad. Is that this type of situation?
You asking me?
Yep. First,
yes, man. Yes. Look, that was a terrible play, right? Like that thrown across your body was fucking crazy. Oof. Yeah, that can't. If anybody defends that shit, again, kick him out the group chat. That's not a person you want to have a serious conversation about anything with. But Cam Ward is also the guy that, you know what I'm saying, on 4th and 7, you know he's gonna get you 9. You know what I mean? Like he's that dude. Like, do the bad play stick out? Yes. But what is he, like, top rated in every category as a quarterback? Right? Like we latch onto these couple bad plays. I thought honestly when I go back, it's like that first half, I thought we took the ball out of his hand too much, trying to force the running game. I don't think the running game is the focus of this year. I think it should be complementary, supplemental. You know what I mean? Like, it should be like chunky plays, like a good 15-yard. You know what I'm saying? More Mark Fletcher, Jordan Lyle for like the 15, 17-yard runs. Not like, all right, we're gonna run the ball 3 straight times and it's gonna be a cloud of dust because you saw Cam was out of rhythm.
Do we feel like if it wasn't for Cam, we don't have those deficits that we had the last 2 games?
100%.
Not come back, but we're not down by 25 in the fourth quarter if Cam in the beginning does a little better with the ball and, you know, does his thing a little bit.
He didn't turn the ball over in the first half, did he?
Against Virginia Tech?
Against Cal, he didn't turn the ball over in the first half. He was a little off. Virginia Tech 3 turnovers in the first half, right?
Yeah.
No, that was his worst game. But how did he answer?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're not in those deficits, but we also don't win. Any other quarterback, we don't win that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not feast or famine because we're only looking at a couple of plays like that. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? What happened there? But like, okay, the throw across his body, indefensible. Fuck out of here. That should never happen again. I don't care if, like, oh, I did that play before. Don't do it again though. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't care when you did it. I don't give a fuck if it was against Hawaii or, you know what I'm saying, Washington. I don't care. Don't do that play again. But the turnovers are going to happen because he's going to test his arm. But also, like, he doesn't let that kill him. That doesn't end him where, like, the whole, fuck this game. Let's just watch something else. Let's watch infomercials now because that's it. Cam's in the box. He's not going to do nothing else. But like, this is the best quarterback we've had in God knows how long. But the turnovers do suck. But it's not he's not to blame because also the defense couldn't do anything in the first half of those games. Okay. Those two things coincide.
Polk, how you feel?
No, I think the you have to expect some of it with that gunslinger mentality, but like everybody said, that throwback across the middle was bad. I mean, that's like JV quarterback, first time ever playing type of throw, just trying to make something happen. Awful, absolutely awful. But I mean, you're going to have to expect some of it because, like Benny said, he's going to want to test his arm. He's going to want to try to fit the ball in through tight windows, and with that's going to come turnovers or interceptions. But it's the decision-making part behind it, I think, that's what's going to have to be cleaned up. Not just trying to make a big play happen just because I need one to happen, or because, I've gone so many games with having a play over so many yards. I haven't had one yet. Now I have to hurry up and try to get one and trying to force
pressure of being perfect. The pressure of being perfect.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So it just comes with a little bit better decision-making. And I think any other quarterback that makes a throw like that for a pick six late in the game, you can probably count on one hand how many would be able to come back from that and still get the win and still have the same type of mentality he carries, just that unfazed, relentless, just go after it type of attitude where, it doesn't matter what happens if he's thrown for 400 yards, if he's thrown for, 100 yards, he's going to have the same attitude and the same mindset. So I think that's kind of what sets him apart.
Real quick, Last King says, did y'all see the video of Ward and Cooper on the Kia commercial? You can tell Ward is the leader. He said, all I think about is football, and I'm sure all his teammates look up to him for that. Yo, Absolutely. Shout out to Kings football for that. The Kia conversations with Honest Cooper and Cam Ward. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. It's definitely a great they could have just argued about Kobe and LeBron for the whole show. I would have been good with it. J-Dub asked, question. Do y'all agree with Mario when he said that you don't want to overcoach Cam because you will lose some special things that come with his style of play?
100% agree. 100% agree. There are certain players that you're going to come across that are special, and that comes with a lot of the coach not having so much pride that he's got to be the guy all the time and what he says goes. There also comes a tremendous amount of trust in that type of relationship as well. But when you have somebody as special as Cam Ward, you do have to listen to what he's saying. He's the guy out there on the field. He actually sees what's happening. So if he sees certain things that the coaches aren't seeing, they have to trust what he's saying. But also at the same time, we've seen the types of plays he can make. So you kind of have to let him cook sometimes. You can't be so prideful that, you're putting your best player in a box and, not letting them out.
So you want to read that one?
Sterling, listen, thank you for supporting the pod, son. But what I saw in that play is he believes in his arm. If the tight end keeps moving, he hits it. I hear what you're saying. Arroyo was in the area, but that just wasn't it at that time. And I see both sides of it, man. I think Cam still has to get better. It's on him to make better decisions. It's like, to me, let's say a woman marries a dude who used to be a player, right? He used to get all the butt back in the day. You know what I mean? He was just that guy. You know what you're getting into. You know you married that man. So let's say when you're married, he's still cheating. He's still cheating. And he's like, yo, what did you expect? You knew what you got when you married me. You know what I mean? I was a player then. I'm a player. Why should I change? It don't make him right, son. Yes, it's true that he is that. Yes, he's probably, fundamentally a player. You know what I mean? He can't say no to the ladies. But you have to get better. You have to take it upon yourself to be like, all right, man, I'm married now. I gotta chill. Cam, yo, I got talent everywhere. This ain't Washington State, no disrespect. because Washington State had talent too. But I got check downs, man. I got check downs. We saw in the previous 4 games, he was using those check downs, man. He was going to his check downs often. He really was, man. He was hitting Fletcher out the backfield, Damian Martinez, who he hit late. Those drives late, the drives against Cal, he was hitting the back out the backfield and the check downs. Do that all game. I think it's less trying to be perfect, like Ben said, with I'm trying to make the big play. He's a big play quarterback, right? He wants the big play. Forget that little 5-yard catch and run, B. I want the 20-yard bomb. And that's dope. That's dope. But when you have 2 safeties over the top, man, sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes, and he knows that. We're not saying anything new. You know what I mean? He knows shit. Right. He definitely knows that. Then you muted. Can you hear me? I can.
Yeah. Done lost your audio.
Yeah, he done lost it. Yeah.
Fire up the generator, Ben.
You gonna have to go and come back. You gonna have to reload. Yeah, man. Like, you know, Poe. Like they know. Like he knows, especially him. He's a student of the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to get to this is his money year. You know, he definitely knows what he needs to do, but I don't think the expectation, or I don't think that should be allowed because he's Cam Ward and he's a gunslinger. Nah, man. I think he still has to do the things that he's supposed to do to help win the game. Yes, he came back. He's the comeback kid. He focused at the end of the game, but you got to keep the focus throughout the whole game, like he was doing the first 4 games.
There you are.
There we go.
Yep.
For some reason,
I also noticed though that, like Ben said, defensive other teams study. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It seems as though teams are disguising their coverages a little bit more. Like especially Virginia Tech. There was a lot of times where pre-snap you would think it was man, and then they would drop into a zone. Yep. Or whatever. So
that's what happened. That's what happened on that that pick that Caleb Spencer got in Virginia Tech.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah. So I think more teams, and I'm seeing it just around the country, just watching football, more teams are starting to do that, and they're starting to disguise and move back late.
It's kind of like it's almost like a switchback, where you're thinking they're in zone, and you got the corner going with the receiver across the middle,
and then
thinking he's going to drop off, and the safety's going to pick him up.
Absolutely.
But then the safety comes down, and the DB stays with them.
Absolutely.
So you're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, and they're disguising it, and they're doing it late, man. And when you do it late, you can't, as the offense now, you can't adjust to that because you've already called a man beater, but they're dropping into zone. Or you already called a zone beater, but they're in man now.
But like you said, that's when your check downs become so important in those types of situations.
I think that's been my biggest problem with him is the lack of him just throwing to the check down to keep the play going.
Yeah,
he just
was doing it like we said. He was doing it early, but now you 6-0. Now the celebration is all over the place.
Now the attention.
Now you the Heisman guy. You know what I mean? So you got to make it look good. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Winning looks good regardless. Winning is the only thing. All right, we're a little bit over time, man. Real quick, halfway through the season, top performers on OD and the coaching staff. Give me one person on offense and defense, and one coach that you're like, yeah, he's doing his thing. Pope.
Are you talking about players on offense and defense?
Yep, one player on O, one player on D, and one coach.
On offense, I'm gonna go with Isaiah Horton. I think he's really stepped up. This year, really coming into his own and turning into one of those outside threats that we really need. Those big body receiver. And I think he's developed quite a bit of trust with Cam. On defense, I'm gonna stick with Basaint on this. I think he's really stepped up his game I mean, there's been a few times where, of course, the linebacker play has been a little suspect, but I think overall he's really stepped up, whereas what we were expecting from Kiko really hasn't been there. But I think Wesley's kind of compensated for that a lot, and he's really improved on his game. Coaches, I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna go with Coach Dawson on this one. Just where he's been able to take this offense. I mean, it does help having Cam Ward as your quarterback. Yeah. So, so that does help a lot. But I think we're averaging 45, somewhere around the 45 points a game now. Yep. The offense is cooking; it's firing on all cylinders. I mean, we're
number
really
one offense in the country.
We're really seeing him, really in his bag this year, and I think. I don't see any reason why it won't continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben, who you got?
Offense, I'm gonna go X, man. I'm gonna go X. That catch on it, what I'm saying, as he's falling to make that catch alone. Yeah, no, you're welcome. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? You told me. No problem. You still got one. You still got one guy that you can throw out there. Just that was the guy who we just talked about.
I want to do it. I don't want to do it.
All right, so X on off and defense, Simeon Barrow, man. Okay. That dude is a fucking monster. Like that dude, like it's just fun. Like the fighting off the two Cal linemen to get a sack, and he sacks Mendoza with like a finger. Like, hey man, you ain't going nowhere. Yeah. Sit the fuck down. Where do you think you going, man? I don't care if you went to Columbus. You gonna get this sack. And coach, Rocky took it from me in the chat, man. I'm gonna go Coach Woodell, man. These tight ends this year, boy. These from Riley Williams, Elijah Lofton,
Coach Woody, man, good
and
job.
The monster that is Elijah Arroyo, fam. Like that, those tight ends look day and night different, boy. Like I didn't like the two plays that they called that weird little like screen. You know what I'm saying, when they left them out there on the island by themselves. But man, those tight ends have been absolutely cooking, dog. Absolutely. Yeah. Coach Woodall is a monster. So yeah, man, shout out to Coach Woody.
Yeah, man. Offense for me, I'm gonna go Elijah Arroyo, man. I've said plenty of times, man, that I'm just happy to see that young man get his opportunity and show up, and he showed up countless. He's blocking, he's making big time catches. He's leading the tight end room. He's not the elder state. He's the second eldest in that tight end room. You know what I mean? But he's doing his thing, man, and he's showing everybody why he's going to be coveted in the league, man. On defense,
him on KC in the league. Whew.
No, he's the next one, right? Because what's his name about to retire probably soon?
Yeah,
Kelsey.
I just learned from Kelsey.
Yeah. On defense, man, I'm gonna go. You know who I'm gonna go, man? I'm gonna go DP2 on defense, man. I'm gonna go Daryl Porter. Daryl Porter, man. He had a rough time when they moved him inside at Virginia Tech. They moved him inside. He had a little rough time with the physicality and everything. But what they've asked him to do, a lot of people are not gonna notice, man. Like he's moved all around. He's hit at USF. He had to chase that damn little quick jitterbug
walk on.
Yeah, man, that little walk on around, man. And he had a rough time, but he's done a lot, man, with Damari Brown being out. He's had to take on a lot of roles, man, because he's really a outside corner, but they've had to move him inside. So salute to DP2, man, for just accepting that role, being a leader in the secondary. In the second half of Cal, he really kind of took over and was leading the secondary, man. So salute to DP2. Coach, I'm going to go KB, man. I'm going to go Kevin Beard, man. He got the receivers looking crazy. You mentioned Isaiah Horton. X has taken it up to a whole nother level. A whole nother level.
How that's even possible, I have no idea after the season he had last year.
Facts.
Hard work and dedication, dog.
Crazy.
Hard work and dedication.
Yeah, and KB got, another, guy to flip. Let's talk about Joshua Moore. Salute Joshua Moore. He's on board. KB about to cook in that room as well, man. And we talk about Jacoby George. The penalty he got shouldn't have been a penalty. I know we were mad at it, but that's not
a penalty
worthy at all. And he's playing well. He's playing well. He had the snafu at USF, but he's playing well as well, man. So
I saw 10 touchdowns yesterday celebrated, and the way JG3 celebrates his, that they call it unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
Joy, I didn't mean to.
No doubt, man. We'll discuss the second half of the season Wednesday, and we'll discuss Louisville Wednesday. I think we have For the Culture Wednesday, right?
We do.
We will.
For the Culture on Wednesday.
Willie Diamonds. Willie Diamonds.
Willie with the videos every day. Shout out to Willie, man. 305 Sports Now. Make sure y'all check our boy out, man. That's family right there.
Yeah, man. We'll discuss second half expectations and Louisville Wednesday. For the culture, we're gonna pop Wednesday. We definitely gonna get into this Louisville chat because this is the team that we thought was gonna be the biggest challenge, man. I wonder if that's changed for anybody.
I hate that they've struggled.
Yeah,
I hate it.
But styles make fights. Styles make fights, fam. It really doesn't matter the struggle. It depends on the matchup. So Louisville could be a bad matchup, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it Wednesday.
Before we bounce, wasn't gonna let this slide. Jay Singh, fellas, wasn't discussed.
Shouldn't have been a tweet.
Jay Singh, man, why you bring that up, Jay?
Jay, this was a very positive, fun podcast. I just got power back. You know what I'm saying? So, fellas, wasn't discussed. But what's y'all take on Orlando Franken's comments regarding Cam's? I'm gonna put it like this, man. He was probably interviewing for the chair on First Take. You know what I'm saying? He needed to fill out a role there. It was in bed. I've said the emotional anger shit was in the group chat. We already handled that. It was childish. It was unnecessary. It was uncalled for. Because if you felt that kind of way, you could reach out you could call Sanamaro Drive. You still got the number and you know where it's at. You could stop there and talk to him about it. To do this is childish, and it was attention seeking. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. It was, look at me to tell this. There's other shit I want to say, but it was classless beyond belief, man. Because me and Joe have talked about it, and we talk about this shit when shit like this happens. But it was disgusting, man. Like it was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an in-house conversation.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in keeping things in-house, man. You keep that type of shit in-house. If you had that strong of a feeling, man, go talk to that man. Talk to the coach. I'm sure you have a relationship with Coach Cristobal. Maybe not. Maybe he don't mess with you because of shit like this. But
maybe they probably changed the code.
Maybe they revoked your access because of things like this. But that's not how we do things, man. That's not how
man. No, that's not how we do things here. We don't even do things like that here on this simple ass shit that we do. Let alone
that's cold. That's cold, fam. When you got family, you got friends, you don't go and blast it's like you blasting your personal shit on social media. Like you had a fight with your wife and you put the shit on Twitter. Yo, man, my wife did this. What the fuck? No,
my wife did this shit.
Do that. No, man. No.
Fuck out of here. No. Shit was stupid.
Terrible.
Bullshit ass shit. I could have roasted. I had a bunch of tweets ready roasting him. You know what I mean? Like, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it because that makes me no better than him. So that's it. All right, man. Appreciate y'all so much. Back on Wednesday for 2 shows right here on the channel. You heard, and for the culture. Appreciate y'all. You already know, man. Support 305 Sports.
And Benny's gone.
Damn, he was cooking too.
Am I back?
There he is.
Hey guys, hey, lasting effects of the hurricane. Appreciate y'all so much, man. Support everybody who does this king shit, man. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back. Crazy bye week. That's it. Second half of the season, man. Now it's a motherfucking sprint. We up out of here, man.
No, player.